You're listening to Faith, Relationship, and Community Podcast, where we talk about all things faith, relationship, and community. My name is Noah. I'm the lead pastor of Morningside Lutheran Church. In today's episode, we're going to hear from a few students in our high school ministry and how they have grown in strong faith and relationships with one another in this ministry.
My name is Maya Cleve, and I grew up going to Morningside Lutheran Church, so I've always been involved.
My name's Olivia Wynn, and I am connected to Morningside Lutheran Church because of my stepmom.
When we were young, there was a thing called Kid Zone, which is where the leader would go with all kindergarten, first grade, through to fifth grade, and they'd start as a big group and do some worship songs, and she'd give the main idea of the day, and then you'd split up into small groups, and your leader just would talk about it with you, and then you discuss it more with your group. And then when you get to high school, it's kind of like that, but everybody's together still. They're all one big group instead of going into small groups. And then you basically do the same thing.
My overview is from middle school to high school. It was really fun because you get to find new experiences with people around you and share the same beliefs, and you get to learn more about your faith and your relationship with God.
I've been impacted by student ministry because it's given me a safe place almost, and I'm around people who love God as much as I do.
I've been impacted because I get to learn more about my faith, and having those questions and answers that I've always had, I get to have answers. And I also like that I can learn more, and I get to learn that there's multiple people in my community that are going through the same thing, and I get to learn more.
I started in Kid Zone when I was young, and then when we got to high school, I just started going. I became connected because when I was little, I went to Kid Zone, started in Kid Zone, and then started going to middle school, and then eventually got up to high school and started going to that. And there's a lot of activities to keep you busy, and you just learn a lot about God.
I came connected with the student ministry because in middle school, I always had that friend group of 8th graders, and so we all moved up together, and we all just had that relationship on going and having fun with each other. And the leaders always had something to do every month that's outside of the group, and so I always just had one goal of keep going and just keep your head up high, and everyone's just welcoming, and it's just overall a fun time.
Yes, and when you're younger, you go with girls your age in the same grade as you, and those are some of the best connections I've ever made in my life. So on a regular day, usually get there, and then you wait for everybody to get there. In the student lounge, you wait in there, and usually there's food, so you can get food and snacks. And then usually we start off the day with a game like Mafia or Dodgeball or whatever one of the leaders decides to do. And they're all really fun and keep you excited. And then we start going over what the lesson's about and reading from the Bible. And then we get asked questions from our leader and we discuss.
And have small groups. And then after that, we usually just hang out for the time being until our parents can come and pick us up, or we drive ourselves.
And then we usually also go over highs and lows at the beginning. Student ministry has helped me grow my faith, as it's given me a way to get all the questions I've had about God and my faith answered, and how it impacts my life and how I can use it in my regular day and the choices I make.
It's helped me grow in my faith because all the questions that I have get answered, and also other people's questions get answered. And it helps me learn from different point of view and different perspectives on on life and how God wants us to live and the path that he wants us to make.
I feel closer to God because I know that I'm not alone in my faith, and like if you have doubts or have questions, other people do too, and you're not alone. And it gives you like questions to think about God and like what to ask him almost and like pray to him about.
Hello, my name is Daisy Castle. I have been a part of this church pretty much my entire life. I was born and raised here, but I'm especially a part of the Sunday morning singing, and I'm also in the high school group. The best part about student ministry with growing in my faith was meeting a bunch of kids who had the same issues that I did, and like we're going through the same things in life and then could relate the same things. Like it was just nice to talk to other kids who might be in the same position I was in. My overall experience has been really good. I came here in 6th grade for the middle school youth ministry, and I went through confirmation, and I met a lot of kids that I've gotten really close relationships with along the way, and then I got to know my youth pastor, Amy, along the way, who I've gotten a very special bond with too. It's an overall really good experience and a great way to meet new people.
I would just want to add that it's definitely been a really positive influence on me in my life and my mental health too.
I want to add that it is really a fun time, and getting to know people that are in your same age group and just getting to learn and talk about God and how he's helped you in your life has been really good for me.
I've been impacted in many ways with student ministry. Ever since middle school, I've had a lot of very important things happen in my life, and it was just a really good way to help me get through middle school and high school. It also taught me a lot about who I am as a person and the kind of people I want to surround myself with.
I want to kind of bounce off what she said and say, that it also has like impacted about and like made me realize who I want to surround myself with and who I want to be friends with and how I want to live my life and the lifestyle I want for myself.
Getting to learn different points of view on different aspects of life and getting to know each individual of their personalities and just getting to learn about God and how they've helped me.
When we first get here, we start by just having a moment to talk to everybody. We get a lot of like food and snacks, and then kind of just get to talk about how our week is going or maybe how our day had started off.
And then we go over highs and lows. We split into boys and girls apart for that, and we go over our highs and lows, and then we go back together and we play a game.
And then after that, we usually come in all together and have Bible study. And then after that,
if there's time, we'll play another short game, and then we'll just wait to either our parents pick us up or to just go off.
It really helped me see like the miracles that have been done in kids my age's life. And then if I was ever going through an issue or something personal with me was going on at home, I had a lot of kids and a lot of people around me who could tell me different ways that I could pray or think about things differently, and just how to get through those hard moments in my life. And it was also always nice just to have someone there to talk to.
It made me have a closer relationship with God, and like made me have a deep understanding of myself and what kind of relationship I wanted with him and the way that I wanted to be seen as a Christian. I feel like I definitely involve him and think about him before I make choices in my life, and who I'm friends with, or if I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. And then I feel like he's just always involved in my life now.
I feel closer with the God because of the joy and the peace that he brings to my daily life, and getting to talk to him to other people my age and helping them find peace and joy, and learning about him and getting to worship him on the weekends, on the weekdays at school, and just getting to praise his name.
I would also say that he brought me a lot of peace, and he's brought me a lot of confidence in myself, and I know I don't have to worry because I'm a child of God and he has a plan for me and I just have to wait for him.
My leaders especially have helped me grow in my faith over the last 5 or 6 years of my life. When I first met my youth pastor, Amy, I was in a pretty low point in my life, and she helped me see a lot of joy in things that I didn't find joy in anymore. And then Pastor Paul is a lifelong friend of me and my family, and it was just always nice having him around, even at home. And they're just good people to be around and to just boost up your mood, and then they're nice people to have around if you need prayers for anything.
I can't remember all the times I've asked our leader Amy questions and how much I'd probably bothered her with questions, but I always get a deep answer back, and that really helps me understand my faith in God and just the whole, everything all together.
The leaders at Morningside Lutheran Church has helped me because I get to text them whenever I need to, and if I have questions, I can always come to them. And I know that they're always going to be there helping me, guiding me through God's plans for me and my path and my future.
I would say that I was also in a very low point too a few years back, and I was helped by the leaders to see the light of God, and I had lost hope in myself, and they had hope in me, and they saw stuff in me that I didn't see in myself, and they helped me see it.
Student ministry helped me grow in my relationships in a lot of ways, not just with friends or, maybe a boyfriend or people at home. I've definitely gone through a lot of issues with all different relationships that I've had with people. It helped me really see the lighter side of other people, and that maybe if we don't agree on something, at the end of the day, we can both agree that we're children of God, and we can always just find that bonding at the end of the day. And how important it is to, honor your parents and honor your family, because, not everybody has that chance.
I would also say that it's brought me a lot of peace and calmness in relationships that I've had with my parents. I definitely feel a lot closer to them now that I'm closer to God, and I feel like I can talk to them more. And in my other relationships, with friends, I always put God first, and I want my friends to know how much God means in my life, and I want them to respect that. And I want my future partner to respect that as well, and I want them to love God as much as I do.
The student ministry has helped me grow in my relationships by not only showing me hope, and it's guiding me through what relationships should look like, and it's also showing me that the confidence that each of them should have.
I would like to add that also with growth with relationships, especially with my friends, I feel like I'm a lot calmer and I respect them more now that I'm closer to God too, and I can see different sides better than I had in the past.
I would say a lot of my closest friends and people that I even consider family now have come from just the church alone and student ministry. There are a lot of people that I've grown up with my entire life from this church, and it's not only church where you get to meet and talk to these people. A lot of times you get to see them outside of that and get to do activities on your own. And it just becomes so much more than a church friend. They become somebody that you hold near and dear to your heart, that if something happens to them, you're one of the first to know about it. And it's just really good to build that relationship with somebody and have friends where you can have something so close to your heart together.
So growing up, like I said earlier, you'd have, when you split into small groups, boys and girls, those girls that I grew up with, some of my favorite connections, I felt really connected to them, and I felt like I could always talk to them. And then going up to high school, some of them stopped coming and new ones were introduced, and I got to interact with people not only in my grade, but in older grades and younger. And I feel like that brought me a whole bunch of new relationships, and I feel really close to those people, and they're some of my favorite people.
The friendships that I've made in the student ministry I've never really actually grown up here. So having that experience going through middle school and high school with these girls, it showed me the confidence that they had in each other and the hope, and having that relationship with other girls on my age, it's really good, and that I get to learn more from them, because I never really had that because when I was growing up, I didn't really go to church until I met these girls, and they made me want to go back to church every single Sunday.
I'll say that it also just really is like inspiring almost to see how all of us stick together and defend each other because of how close we've become. We've become like a whole family.
It's kind of a mix of both. There were some people that I grew up with ever since, I was a little kid in the church. But there was quite a few kids that I had never met before that came along the way, as we went on with student ministry. And it was just really inspiring to hear people who may have not been here before, how well they were with their faith and just how, confident they were to be a child of God. And it was really inspiring for me. And it's just awesome to hear so many backstories of other kids who have different experiences than you.
I knew a couple people because I had grown up with them, and I've seen other kids around the church, but I've never talked to them at all. So I was already friends with the people I had grown up with, but I met a whole bunch of new people who shared the same thoughts as I did, and it was, as Daisy said, it was definitely really cool hearing different backstories and all their different stories and how their relationship with God has grown over the years.
Making new friends was the easy part, I would say, because they're all so welcoming, and getting to learn that, just because I just got here doesn't mean that I'm not welcomed. And they all showed love and showed me what a relationship with friends and having that faith in God and just having that hope and joy and peace and the relationships that they had just made me want that even more. And so those friendships I cherish so much and keep them to my heart.
I 100% agree that the easy part is making friends because everybody's so welcoming and you just feel comfortable right away and you just feel like you're involved and you feel overall seen. And you get bonds so easily that way and you just click.
One of my favorite things to do is invite new people over to our group. There are many kids from school that I have invited to youth group alone or maybe some activities that we do outside of youth group. But it's been an overall great experience. A lot of the people that I've invited have kept showing up and they've told me how great it impacts them. And they've become very, very much closer with me since then just because they have something that I would consider pretty personal, and it's something that we can actually talk about and sit down and have a, heart-to-heart conversation about.
I would say that the people I've invited, a couple of my friends, a lot of them, even if they can't come, they seem happy just to get the invite. But the friends that have come, they've all left with good thoughts about our church and the student ministry and everyone involved with it. And they always are wondering if when they can come back.
Inviting friends is so fun, and it's an adventure that you guys can take together, and getting to do something with your other friends that are so close to you and getting to show them what a relationship should look like and having that close bond with each other and just being able to talk about your faith in God together puts you in a different perspective and shows them that it's okay to talk about God in any friendship that you have because it's just overall so empowering to other people. And the thoughts that they put into other people's and inviting more friends is just so great.
Small group, I would say, is the best way to build new relationships with others. A small group is really a time where, since we're split up, by gender, it's a time where maybe if we're not comfortable saying it in front of an entire group, a smaller group makes you more comfortable to say how things are going. And it's really an important time for other people to ask the truth on what's going on. It's a good way to really get in there and see what they can do to help you. And it's also just a great time to learn more about other people. Because, you might see somebody on the outside, but you never know how they're really feeling on the inside.
I definitely agree with Daisy. You don't know what's going on in somebody's life, and then hearing from their point of view and what's happening in their life, you can be so surprised by what's going on because you never knew that was happening, and you definitely kind of bond more and since we're split up into different genders, you can even relate to them even more and like understand what they're going through.
I would say a small group is way better than a large group because you don't really have that much time to talk to each other. But when you're in a small group, you get to learn more and more about each individual. So I'd say like there's 3 in a group, and plus me, I get to learn about those 2 people. And then especially if we switch, like you get to learn more about each different person and something even more personal that you guys can connect with. And I just think that's so empowering because you guys can connect over something that maybe someone else can't connect with. And it's just, you get to see, oh, they have that same thing as I do. So it's just overall really great.
I agree. It really helps you see that you aren't alone.
I definitely feel closer to other people, even if they are not in my student ministry, just because you meet so many different people in student ministry and hear so many different stories every week that it really opens your eyes to what other people might be experiencing. And like, for instance, there was a kid at school who had their Bible sitting out in the middle of class. And it was just a really good way for me to open up and explain, what I do in my student ministry and how that might be beneficial to them. But it's also just really good. It teaches you how to, meet with other kids that might not be there at the time. And it teaches you how to talk to them about God and be more approachable with that.
No one from my school goes to the high school ministry right now, so I feel like it really helps me put myself out there more and like try to open up more and just express my story as well as other people, hear other people's. And I want my story to kind of, if they are going through something and something similar, something that I went through, I want to share that story and try to help them get through it too.
It has gotten really close because I don't really have anyone else that goes to school that comes here with me. So it helps me boost that confidence and talking like out loud and like not being insecure about talking to other people that I don't really know. So it helps me in that way and getting confidence.
I feel like it's also given me a lot of confidence too, just like meeting a whole bunch of new people and putting myself out there more. And it's giving me extra confidence. So like, because I've always been a shy person and I don't like putting myself out there. And so it's hard for me to do that. But I feel like now that I've met all these new people and with God on my mind too, I can talk to strangers more easily and just bond, I guess. Well, not bond, kind of just click easier. And yeah.
Morningside Lutheran does a really good job getting to know people from all over Siouxland, and we do a lot of volunteering, like especially when we had the flood, there was a lot of opportunities for us to help people from the flood, and it's just a good way to get out there and help people who might be in need, and it's also a really good invite to have people start coming to our church so they can see what our mission really is.
I agree. Morningside Lutheran Church is very involved in the community, and we put a lot of help out there and like always are there to help, reach a helping hand. I think, like she mentioned with the flood, and then we done extra stuff with people in need for like the homeless as well. And then I think on RAGBRAI, we also hosted some people outside, which was really cool.
Morningside Lutheran Church has helped the community because we get to learn about different experiences, and like they suggested, like the flood and everything. I know some close people that were affected by the flood, and I'm just glad that, as Siouxland, we can help them. And like we went to Pizza Ranch and we volunteered, and it was just overall really good time because we got to help people and raise money for the flood industry, and the community just overall comes together and helps fight whatever it is.
And Morningside Lutheran also just is like I wouldn't say a safety like net, but they're always there to help you. And like if you reached out to anybody there, they would be more than happy to help you or listen to what you're going through or anything. And not only do we volunteer and stuff, but we also do other fun activities, which is like another kind of way to like get involved with the community almost.
I would tell anybody to definitely show up at least once. Even if it isn't really your thing, it's always just a good experience to try. And everybody here is really welcoming to new people. We always love to see a new face around, and it's just a really good way to get to know kids from all around your community or maybe even your school.
I would say definitely come. We'd love to have you.
I would say come at least once, and it would open your eyes, and you definitely get to see other people around you that might be going through the same struggles as you, and you never know that, sometimes your questions will be answered with just having your eyes open to different people and getting to know each and every person that's in your community and trying to do the same thing as you are doing.
I would also agree with Daisy, even if church isn't really your kind of setting or whatever, still come, because there's so many friends you can make and so many connections, and whether you know it or not, you're still learning about God and you're probably going to become closer to Him.
Morningside Lutheran and student ministry has really helped build the person that I am today, and I really think that my life would have taken a different turn, down a different path if I wasn't here and I didn't meet the people that I was with. So even if you're in your darkest places in life, God is always there to reach out a helping hand, and I would say that's the number one thing I've learned from this group.
I honestly don't think I would be here anymore if it wasn't for Morningside Lutheran and the path they showed me and the light they showed me, and they helped me see God's light, and they allowed me to be saved by Him.
My final thoughts is that the ministry here is so strong, and going together with your friend or whatever, you learn so much, and I've opened my eyes to see that there's always a light in the end of the tunnel. You just always have to, get your way through it, and you can always talk about it, and you can always lean on each other for it, and it's just helped me see what a relationship should be, and it's also helped me with a relationship with God, because I don't think I would have, took this turn in my path because I wasn't here and I didn't grow up here.
I would also like to say and mention that it's not just the kids who are very welcoming, it's also the adults, and they're more than happy to talk to you about if you have questions, or just you can listen. All their stories are very interesting too, because they all lived a different life than our time is, and they all have different kinds of stories and how their relationship with God is, and it's all very interesting, but everybody is very nice, including the adults. It's just a whole bunch of, it's the church is just glowing a light. You can see it in you can see it in every one of the people here that they truly love God.
And I'd like to add that, since I was going through it in the dark tunnel, I've met these amazing people that I am here with today, and they helped me go through something that I thought I would never be able to. And getting to be able to overshare a little bit is just so opening to me, because sometimes I just shut myself down, and getting to know these people and getting to be able to not fake smile and fake happy. I actually get to be like this the entire time I'm here.
You feel like you can be yourself around the people here.
Thanks for listening today to our Faith, Relationship, and Community podcast. For more episodes, check out our website, morningsidelutheran.com, or on our social media platforms. We appreciate you joining. God bless.